Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am the Maize Mad Man. Before we get started, hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you're aware every time I upload a video. Today, well, you already know, we just picked up another commitment. 4-star Blake Frazier out of Texas, Legacy Recruit, just committed to the Wolverines. Let's talk about it. You know why we're here. Michigan just received the commitment from 4-star offensive tackle out of Texas, Blake Frazier, the Legacy Recruit. I brought my friend Rick Flair with me to help us all celebrate. Rick, let's go.
Woo! I'm the best there is. Woo! Woo! Woo!
There you have it. Blake Frazier finally pulling the trigger. Blake Frazier had multiple crystal balls in Michigan's favor. It was just a matter of time before this commitment took place. It finally does today, April 16th at around 1 o'clock. Blake Frazier does what everyone knew he was going to do. And now that picture of the four recruits Michigan had on campus with Blake Frazier, Jaden Davis, Jordan Marshall, and Brady Prieskorn. We're only down to Brady Prieskorn to complete that, to get that, to go 4 for 4 in that picture. Again, Blake Frazier choosing the Wolverines over schools like Texas and Oklahoma, LSU, and Clemson. Out of Austin, Texas, Vandergrift High School, he is currently ranked the number 207 player in the country. He is the 17th ranked offensive tackle in the country and the 38th ranked player in the state of Texas, which should tell you a little bit about the state of Texas. The fact this is one of the few cases where a player is ranked lower in his state than he is nationally for his position. Texas is just chock full of talent. Obviously, Michigan is in the state of Texas recruiting heavily. There is Taylor Tatum that is still very much in play for Michigan, as well as a host of other players that Michigan is recruiting. He is a consensus 4-star recruit, 6'5", 260 pounds. If you look at his film here, he is just a dominant force on that offensive line. Coach Sharon Moore, the offensive line coach, as well as now the offensive coordinator, is really doing an excellent job of recruiting the type of maulers that Michigan has had in the previous seasons. Two-time defending Joe Moore award-winning coach Sharon Moore. You got to get all of that in there, by the way. And just looks like that line is only getting stronger. The fact that that Michigan is not really going to miss a beat from last season, obviously losing Oluwatimi, and it is a huge blow. He was a massive force along that offensive line, but I do think that the guys that we have on the team now and some of these younger players that are going to be cycling in the next season and even early this season, there's some guys that are jousting for position there. This train, as far as Michigan's offensive line goes and the dominance that they've been showing along that offensive line, I don't see it slowing down anytime soon. And Blake Frazier, whose father blocked for the likes of Tom Brady, is only adding to that dominance. So you say, what's next for Michigan along the offensive line? There is obviously Jake Guarnera, who will be making his decision on the 28th of this month. He has multiple crystal balls in Michigan's favor. There is still Max Anderson, who is out there, also from Texas, also a 4-star recruit from Texas. There is offensive lineman DeAndre Carter, who is still in play for Michigan. There's Bennett Warren. There's Brandon Baker. So this thing could really Voltron into something spectacular along the offensive line. It already has, if I'm being honest. Michigan already has commitments from 3-star Ben Roebuck. They already have commitments from 4-star Luke Hamilton. And just last week picked up Andrew Sprague out of Kansas City. So Michigan's offensive line in the 2024 class could be spectacular. Michigan has already put together a special recruiting class so far, with so many more names out there with crystal balls in Michigan's favor. This could really turn into a special class for the University of Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, and I am here for it all. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think is next for Michigan? Does Jake Granera go ahead and commit to the Wolverines? He is also an interior offensive lineman, so that would be a massive get for Michigan. What do you think about the chances of Michigan landing Max Anderson now? Do you think he shies away now that Blake Frazier has pulled the trigger, and now that Michigan also has Andrew Sprague in the class? And let's even shoot higher than that. You look at the number 5 offensive tackle in the class, Bennett Warren, and the number 1 offensive tackle in the class, Brandon Baker, who are both high on Michigan, especially Warren, who was there on campus most recently for the spring game and had really great things to say about Michigan. Brandon Baker trying to work out a schedule where he can visit Ann Arbor. So it's really looking, again, like I said, positive for Michigan along the offensive line. There is still work to do, obviously, in other areas on the football team, including receiver and defensive line. There's even cornerbacks, obviously, that Michigan is after. The 2 guys in Ohio we've already talked about to nauseam here on the channel. And there are some others now peeking their head through, poking up. So if Michigan happens to not be able to land either Bryce West or Aaron Scott, the options are still in abundance in that defensive backfield as far as targets go for Michigan. So we'll see how it all plays out. Expect more news from me coming soon. I expect that we will be doing a lot of these commitment videos in the coming weeks and months. So should be an exciting time. Obviously, the transfer portal is open back up too, so we'll be keeping our eyes on that. In fact, I plan to do a national video, really on what's happening in the transfer portal. We've got to talk about the 2 receivers from Providence Day School, Jordan Shipp and Channing Goodwin. We'll get to that at some point during this week as well, and how that is going. And Michigan really has not spread themselves thin and has been doing a great job recruiting the 2025 class, especially at quarterback, which is very interesting considering the number 1 quarterback in the nation is right in the backyard of Michigan, in state, Bryce Young. So that is going to be very interesting. You have guys like George McIntyre, Hunter Boley. So these are all names that Michigan is heavily involved with and have made a big impression on. So we'll keep you up to date on that, as well as what's happening with in-state targets like Jeremiah Beasley and Nick Marsh. Keep it locked to the channel for all the latest. And as always, I'm upset.
Ladies and gentlemen, this might be our best season ever. Our ratings, they're about to go